up a little bit. It was down pretty close to $3 a gallon, and then now it's back up to $3.41. So, you know, you need it, so you buy it. Let's see. I guess I didn't have anything else. Oh, thanks to Chris there. Good to hear you. And yeah, there is a lot of activity. I wanted to mention PSK Reporter. I've been looking today, and the FT8WW was supposed to be on 15 meters, and I went to PSK Reporter to see if I could see him, but I have not been able to see him on any frequency all day. But I know he's there, and I know he's working some people. It did show up a little bit on my program, the WJTX. But that PSK Reporter seems to be a little bit strange to me. I don't know exactly what I'm not doing or doing wrong, something, but we'll leave that for another time. Back to you, Tom. W8VM in the group, N8WS, and Judy.
N8WS and Judy, W8 Victor Mike. Okay, Bill, well, thanks for checking in. We certainly do appreciate that. Now let's go to Bill number 2, K2WJS, W8 Victor Mike.
K2WJS. I really don't have much to add. I'm going to make this my last round tonight. It was good to hear everybody. That everything's going okay. And I'll talk to you next week. Kilo 2, Whiskey Juliet Sierra. Thank you.
K2WJS, W8 Victor Mike. Bill, we certainly appreciate the check-in. Say hi to Connie for us. Okay, now let's check in with Chuck, K8CVM, W8 Victor Mike.
W8 Victor Mike, K8CVM here. If anybody's interested, this weekend on Saturday from 10 until 4
calling all
a.m. to 4
amateur radio operators.
The Ohio
Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is WO3X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open-directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirm each call. Then I'll correspond with these 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until we're done. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, I will repeat the announcements and then I'll give one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. This evening, the 9:30 net will be on 10 meters on 28.360 megahertz upper sideband. Here are the announcements. This Wednesday, that's January 11th, at 7:30 p.m. at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ is the first business meeting of the year. That location is 130 Broad Boulevard, and you get to the parking lot off going south on 2nd Street from Broad Boulevard. On Saturday the 14th is a volunteer exam session. Go to www.cfarc.org, go to the Education tab, and look for the exam session. You have to pre-register for it. Make sure you have your FRN. Then the next day starts the general license class. That will go for 6 Sundays. It is free and it is online. Go again to that Education tab at www.cfarc.org. Look for that so you can register, and notice that a certain book is recommended. Then on January 25th is our activity meeting, and there will be a presentation by Frank, WADZT, about our repeater, and maybe about some plans that we have for it too. Then on Thursday, January 26th, is the Aries meeting, and that starts at 7 o'clock, and it is on West Market Street in the Red Cross building. On January, let's see, I don't have my calendar in front of me, but it's the Saturday and Sunday, last Saturday and Sunday of January, is the Winter Field Day. If you're interested in operating Winter Field Day with the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, send a message, an email message to Frank, WADZT, at, here's his email address, w8ezt@cfarc.org, and let him know that you are interested in operating the station. I signed up, and a couple other people signed up too. I like to work during the night on that, like from about midnight to for a few hours after that, and it goes until 2 p.m. Sunday. It starts 2 p.m. Saturday and goes until 2 p.m. Sunday. So if you're interested in operating on that, send an email message. I'll repeat, w8ezt@cfarc.org. That's Whiskey 8 Echo Zulu Tango at Charlie Foxtrot Alpha Romeo Charlie.org, and let them know you're interested. That's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Okay, nothing heard. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
8YA.
Okay, KD8YAX, I have you. Forrest, another check-in, please.
WA3JAT.
WA3JAT, I have you. Jim, another check-in, please.
AB8OU.
AB8OU, I have you. Zeke, another one, please.
W8EZT.
Okay, I got W8EZT, and there was somebody in there I couldn't copy it, not making the repeater good enough there. Let's try another person.
W8DIS.
W8DIS, I have you, Bill. Okay, go ahead, Forrest, with your comment.
W8VPV. Repeater.
No comments. I'm just trying to help keep the numbers up.
Okay, very good. Thanks for helping to keep the numbers up. Okay, that takes us to Jim, WA3JAT. Go ahead, Jim. And are both your radios still for sale?
W8VPV, WA3JAT. Yes, John, they're both still for sale. Believe me, I will let you know if I get a call on any of them. Also, wanted to say good evening to everybody on the net tonight. Hope you'll be able to make the meeting on Wednesday, if not in person, via Zoom. I have talked to Pat, and he is doing well, and he is still, of course, going to be at home. But hopefully he'll be feeling a little bit better each day, and we'll have him back before too long. But at any rate, do look forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday. W8GTV, WA3JAT.
Okay, Jim, very good. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for that information, and I'll see you there on Wednesday. And thanks for all you do for the club. Okay, that takes us to Zeke, AB8OU. Go ahead, Zeke, with your comments.
AB8OU. Good evening, John and everyone. Hope everyone is enjoying the new year, or is continuing to enjoy it. Not much here operated in the ARL Ready Roundup contest over the weekend, and it's also not my best year, but not my worst year. The North American QSO Party CW event is this coming weekend, and that's always a fun one, and especially if you're looking for to complete your work to all states, good chance. Anyway, back to you, John, AB8OU.
Okay, Zeke, very good. Sounds like you're doing pretty good there on those contests there, so congratulations. That takes us to Bill, WADIS. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments.
Good evening, everybody. This has been a pretty hectic early January. I will be unable to attend either of the meetings this month, but I do hope to be able to zoom into both of them. I had eye surgery last Thursday on my left eye, and on the 23rd, just a few days before the next one, I'm going to have eye surgery on my right eye. So that kind of limits my driving at night for a while, but things are going well so far, and I hope it continues to do that way. So otherwise, I just hope everybody's having a good new year, and hope to at least zoom in and see you at the upcoming meetings. This is W8DIS, back to net.
Okay, Bill, very good. Well, we'll miss you at the meeting, but we'll see you on Zoom there. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for 5 more check-ins. One at a time, please. Okay, let's see, WB8, there was somebody transmitting at the same time, so I got the XO, but I didn't get the letter before the X. Is it a C, Charlie? Okay, I got you. Another check-in, please.
W8EZT.
N8WHR. Oh, yeah, okay. I got N8WHR, but yeah, let me go back and get, yeah, I skipped over Frank there. Hold up, Net. Let's go back and get Frank. W8EZT. Go ahead, Frank.
Not a problem. I'm willing to be the first out of the gate next time. Anyway, just wanted to say good job, John. You covered everything. Again, I want to stress, if you're interested in participating in Winter Field Day, especially operating, email me soon. There's going to be about a 2-week lead-up time where we secure the site, secure restroom facilities, and I have to do some maintenance on the trailer that has not been started yet. And we only have 4 people right now, so if you're interested in Winter Field Day, please email me. And beyond that, let's see, that's VE testing and everything else. I'll hand it back to you, John. Good job tonight. W8EZT. We'll catch you on 10 meters.
Okay, Frank, very good. Thanks for emphasizing the need to get the interested parties accumulated here for the Winter Field Day so that we know whether to proceed or not. Thanks. Okay, so let's see. So I got WBHCXO and I got N8WHR. Another check-in, please.
EZT again.
Go ahead, Frank.
I apologize. I'll back out of here. Forrest, if you're still monitoring, I will pick you up for the meeting at 6:15 in your driveway as normal. That's all I got. Back to you, John. Thanks. W8EZT.
Okay, thanks for that, so that Forrest can go to the meeting too. Okay, 6:15 pickup of Forrest there. Okay, so let's see, I got WBHCXO, I got N8WHR, another check-in, please.
N8OQP.
N8OQP, sounded good there, Pat. Another check-in, please. K8PU. Got K8PU, and let's see, one more, please. Try that again. Go ahead.
Alpha Charlie 8, X-Ray Oscar.
Okay, I got you, Vince. Okay, so let's go to up to WBHCXO. Go ahead with your comments. Okay, very good, and that's nice you're streaming that net. Okay, so that takes us to N8WHR. Go ahead with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor.
Good evening. It's November 8 Whiskey Hotel Romeo Mike here in Brunswick. I was just checking in and out tonight, and hope everybody has a good evening. Back to you.
Okay, Mike, thanks. Well, we got you in there, so thanks for one for the number there, and very good. You have a good signal here. So next is N8OQP. Go ahead, Pat, with your comments, and you're sounding pretty good there.
Thanks, John. Feeling fairly well. It's been a difficult, in some points, recovery, but we're getting there. I want to thank Frank and Jim for taking the responsibility of getting the meeting conducted there. Hopefully, I'll be able to join in Zoom if I can sit in the chair that long, which hopefully I can. I can probably do an hour or so anyway. But I'll be in the meeting hopefully. But as I said, I appreciate Jim and Frank making the effort to get it so we can go live. I will not tie it up too much. That's about all I got. Do appreciate all the prayers and everything that's came my way. Just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop now. I got a couple of doctor's appointments coming up, and we'll see what they're going to do with me after that. So I think that's about it. I'll turn it back to Ned. Have a glorious net. Well, I may catch you on 10 if I consider that long. AOQP.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Okay, Pat, very good. Well, okay, I'll listen for you there, and thanks for checking in, and have a good evening there. So that takes us to Larry, K8PU. Go ahead, Larry, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
John, everybody on the net, give a shout out to Pat. Glad you're getting better, buddy. Hang in there. I know it's not very comfortable, those kind of things, but just keep on doing what they tell you and get better. Hope to see you soon. Beyond that, I can't say it's 80 and sunny at Oakwood Drive or anything like that. It just is what it is. It's not going to be much better for probably April or May, so we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, John, always good here. Other than that, I look forward to catching you on 10 meters, I think it is, 9:30. So back to you, W8VPV, K8PU.
Well, Larry, if you turned on the sun lamp, you could say it's 80 and sunny there on Oakwood Drive. Over.
What did I think of that? I'll just run out there and clamp that thing up on the oak tree and let it shine on my house, and then I can say it's for real. Okay, good idea. Thanks, John. K8PU.
Okay, yeah, very good. Thanks, Larry. So have a good evening there, 73. Okay, that takes us to Vince, AC8XO. Go ahead, Vince, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with WO3X. Name here's John at the mic.
Good evening, John, and everybody on the net. AC8XO here, the official newsletter editor. Newsletter went out. Anybody has any comments, they know where to get me. Other than that, start working on next month. Before you know it, February will be here. Other than that, don't have a whole lot going on. It's nice to see that it ain't snowing and it ain't freezing. Other than that, that's it. Alpha Charlie 8X for Oscar, back to net.
Okay, Vince, very good. Thanks. You do a wonderful job on that newsletter. Thanks. And so, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for 5 more check-ins.
NHALQ.
N8ALQ, I have you, Walt. I will get back with you in a couple minutes here, unless nobody else checks in. Another check-in, please.
KE8KVI.
Okay, I got KE8KVI, and there was somebody else in there too. Who was that? Go ahead. Somebody doubled with KE8KVI and maybe with me also. Come back with your call, please. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
This is Kilo 8 Bravo India, K8BI, Bill in Cuyahoga Falls.
K8BI, I have you, Bill. We'll get back with you in a couple minutes. Another check-in, please. K8WTK. K8WTK, and one more check-in, please. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for one more check-in at this time. Okay, not hearing any. Let's go up to Walt. N8ALQ. What's going on over there, Walt?
Well, it's Monday, and usually Mondays for me are kind of quiet. Well, I'd like to wish everybody had a great New Year's. I hoped it got off on the right foot. But if it didn't, you got to remember that you also have another foot that you could work on. So enjoy what we got coming, and something will be different shortly. This is N8ALQ, back to net, 73.
Very good, Walt. That sounds like a good idea there. So 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to Ron, KE8KVI. Go ahead, Ron, with your comments.
Hello, John, and everyone out there in radio land. I hope everyone's having a good evening and had a good day. Mine was pretty much nothing more than solving a bunch of technical issues, but since I do that for fun and money, it worked out well for me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I had a technical issue that came up. Let's see, it was 2 weeks ago now already. And I finally got it fixed there on, I think it was Saturday. Got it fixed on Saturday, so that's all working well now. It had to do with a Zygu G90 that got deprogrammed or something. So I was able to download new firmware into it, and now it's good. Okay, thanks for checking in there, Ron, 73, and have a good evening. So that takes us to Bill, K8BI. Go ahead, K8BI, Bill, go ahead.
Thank you, John, and belated Happy New Year to the rest of the net and John. I got tied up last week and wasn't able to check in, so there's your Happy New Year. And yeah, it sounds like we're in for a little bit of nice weather for the next few days. I got a chance to get a couple of minor car repairs in before I did my walk this afternoon, and it looks like we're going to have a good day tomorrow too, so get a few more things in. Nice to be able to tune up the car in January. Can't do that too often. Anyways, we'll look for everyone down the pike. Everyone have a great week. W8VPV, this is K8BI.
Okay, Bill, very good. Do you have two insights there, or is that a visitor?
I bought one for a parts car, and it was too nice for parts, so I fixed it, and it's a driver. So I actually have two, K8BI.
Okay, yeah, because one of my walk routes takes me past your place there, and off and on I see two of them there. Okay. Okay, very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to KA8WTK, Bill. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
W8VPV, KA8WTK. Good evening, John, and everybody on the net. Not much going on here. I like the reprieve in the weather. It was interesting to see that bright light in the sky today. It was kind of nice. And should dry out the Christmas decorations on the outside of the house so I can take them down tomorrow. Boy, it's strike while the iron's hot, or at least the weather's not freezing to get them down and get them put away.
Other than that, there's not much going on here. Just, frankly, I'm waiting for spring. I got antenna work to do this spring, and I'm looking forward to it. So, back to net, W8VPV, K8WTK.
W8VPV. Repeater, PL110.9.
Okay, Bill. There's a hum on your signal. It wasn't there right at the very first second or so, but then it came on and it was steady along with your signal, and sounded like 120 hertz. So I don't know if it's power supply ripple or maybe a loose ground or shield on the microphone. Over.
Is it still there?
Well, you weren't on long enough to tell. It wasn't there for the few seconds, that 1 second there. Go ahead, give a little longer message there.
Okay, yeah, this is the radio I've been using for the past 2 months to check in. It had this hum before, and I went through the, there's nothing wrong with the grounds, and I started resoldering every connection inside the microphone, and it went away until now. It's something in this microphone. So if I could find another mic for this old rig, it'd be great. Anyway, how's that, John?
Very good. It's gone now. So, okay. I guess it may depend on which way you hold it or whatever. Okay, thanks, Bill. So have a good evening there. Okay, this is WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray. The name here is John, and I'm net control station for the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor VHF UHF net. So I'm looking for 5 more check-ins. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor looking for 5 more check-ins. Mark, I can tell it's you, but we're not going to be able to tell what you're saying. Your signal is really weak into the repeater. It held the repeater, but and I heard the Fox Queen Victor, so that's how I know it's you. So I'll just mark you as in and out there, Mark. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
All right, John, that's just fine.
Okay. Okay. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for more check-ins. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
KE8 WGD.
Was that Whiskey Delta Golf?
Whiskey Golf Delta.
Okay, I got what's your name, please?
Greg.
Okay, Greg, we'll get back with you in a moment, maybe pretty soon. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. Go ahead, Greg, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. I'm John, WO3X.
Hi, I just wanted to say hello. I'm new to the club and new to amateur radio. This is actually my first transmission, so happy to be on the air. KE8 WGD, back to net.
Okay, Greg, well, congratulations, and thanks for becoming a member of the club. and we're having the meeting on Wednesday in person at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ on Broad Boulevard. That's and you get to the parking lot by going south off of Broad Boulevard. Go south on 2nd Street off of Broad Boulevard, and the parking lot's on the east side of 2nd Street there. So maybe we'll see you there. So thanks for checking in. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Sounds like somebody's trying, but they're not bringing up the repeater. Just able to make it cycle.
November 8, Yankee Romeo X-ray, Buck and Green.
N8YRX, Buck. Go ahead with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Hey, John. Well, actually, I just tuned in. I was watching the tube with my wife, watching a little news. But anyway, I was just listening here for a few minutes. It sounds like it's a little light tonight for whatever reason. Anyway, I was interested in the ARES net about that new. Haven't really had time to look into that much, but I'm interested to see how the exemption for amateur radio is worded in that. Have you seen anything on that yourself?
I heard about it, and the wording may be in the Ohio section newsletter. That's where I saw about it, and then Ken mentioned it in the Aries net this evening. So I'm pretty sure I saw it in that the Ohio section newsletter there. But no, it may have been the previous Sunday that I saw it. Over.
Okay, well, from what the one guy said, it's kind of a brand new subsection or whatever that he said wasn't even listed yet, and the website that I went to didn't have that on there, didn't have a reference to that H1F, I believe it was. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye open for that just to make sure that we have our ducks in our case of some questions come up on the road somewhere. So anyway, maybe I'll catch you over on the is it 10 meter night, I think. I think that's what I heard earlier. But anyway, we'll catch you later on one way or the other, John. NEYRX.
Okay, Buck. Yeah, and I'm the net control station. I'll be using a vertical that's not real good. But I'll also have the beam antenna. So if I happen to hear you, I'll switch to that. The Yagi. I'll switch to the Yagi, which is horizontal, but it picks up, or like Zeke AB8OU. When I switch to that antenna, I hear him very well on it. So I might be switching antennas here during that net. So thanks for checking in there, Buck, and maybe we'll hear you on 10 meters. Okay, thanks. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Okay, I'll repeat the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-ins. This Wednesday, that's January 11th, at 7:30 p.m. is our first business meeting of the year, and it will be both in person and on Zoom. And In person, it will be at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, which is 130 Broad Boulevard. Get to the parking lot by going south on 2nd Street off of Broad Boulevard. And then 2 weeks after that is our activity meeting, and it will consist of a presentation by Frank W.A.D.Z.T. About our repeater. Then on January 26th at 7 p.m. is the Aries meeting, and that is at the Red Cross building on West Market Street. That, again, starts at 7 p.m. And let's see here. On this Saturday is a volunteer exam session, and it will be at the Akron Library. If you want to take a test, go to www.cfarc.org, go to the Education tab, and find the volunteer exam session and register for that. Make sure you have your FRN. And let's see, then the next day after that exam is the start of the general license class. That will go for 6 Sundays, and again, go to CFARC.org, the Education tab, and look for that. Register for it. It's free. It's online, and they recommend a book there, so look at that soon so that you can have your book on hand in time. And let's see here, what else do we have? Okay, on the last Saturday and Sunday of January is Winter Field Day. If you're interested in operating Winter Field Day at our setup, for CFA, for Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, then send an email message to w8EZT@cfarc.org. I'll give that phonetically here. That's Whiskey 8 Echo Zulu Tango at Charlie Foxtrot Alpha Romeo Charlie.org, and let him know that you're interested in operating for an hour or a few hours or whatever for Winter Field Day. And that runs from Saturday at 2 p.m. until Sunday at 2 p.m. And if we have it, then I'll be operating during the night, like from 12 midnight to whatever, till the next person shows up or whoever's on the schedule. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor mentioning about Winter Field Day. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any, so in preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is WO3X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 18 check-ins, counting myself, and return the repeater to normal customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:13 p.m. local time. The Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor band exploration net will be on 10 meters this evening on 28.360 megahertz upper sideband, and that will start at 9:30 p.m. This is WO3X clear.
Good job, sir. Thank you. AOQP.
You're welcome, Pat. Thanks.
W8 repeater.
Held the repeater relatively well. Alrighty, well, hello to you and the wife there. Square dancing. Okay, well, that's something my brother and his wife did for a few years, and they really enjoyed that. And then they had children, and that kind of ended that.
I'll have to ask them if they still do square dancing, but I kind of think that kind of went by the wayside. So I heard you checking into the barometer net this morning. There's been a lot of problems with All-Star, so that's why this repeater has not been linked up for about the last couple weeks, because it just has been, I do not want something on here that's just going to be giving us garbly gook, and it was doing a lot of that here, so whenever that gets straightened out, I'll bring it back. But hey, Josh, that is great. You did make it in. You were a little noisy into the barometer net, but hey, that's all the way down in Doylestown. So from Parma Heights to Doylestown, you're doing quite well. And I think you said you never really checked the antenna, so it sounds like you built it correctly. for just building it and throwing it out of the air, it's doing remarkably well. I'd be willing to bet that it's tuned pretty close. And my kitty cat is very upset she's getting neglected. But I'm not going to neglect Joe, NHJEW. How are things in Alliance this evening?
Well, that repeater likes the idea at the most opportune times, doesn't it? Everything's going pretty good down here in Alliance. I was a little bit late to the net tonight. I went to sit down here and enjoy my cup of coffee that I just got, and reached up and checked the time. And of course, that was after the cat decided to climb in my lap and dance around for a little while. And checked the time, and I was late to the Ohio DMR net that I normally check into, so I waited for the end of the net so that I could do a late check-in, and by the time I was done with that and got over here, then I was late to this one too. So either way, I guess I made it here. So other than that, there's not a whole lot else going on here. Figured I'd go ahead and check in and hope that everybody had a nice New Year's. And glad to hear somebody running the net this week. I arrived last week and there wasn't anybody here except for you, Andrew, to tell me that there wasn't a net. NAJEW.
No, Brian had every intent on being here, and he had some things happen at work that set him behind, so he's working another late night. So he asked me to take it, and I was like, well, okay. So very good there, Joe. Well, you're not late for the net unless it's closed, I guess. So I'm trying to think. I think it was Steve who said he also checked into the DMR net. I set up my clear node for DMR. It's set up working, I think I remember. Well, I know I got it functioning, but I haven't touched it since. So for all I know, it may not be working again. And it's just a bridge to the internet side of DMR. So anyway, I can get into it with analog HT, and it spits out wherever DMR is connected, I guess. All right. That brings me back to the bottom of the list. Are there any additional check-ins or comments for the net? Please call. This is the Geauga County Public Service Emergency and Weather Net. We meet every Monday night at 9 p.m. local time, except for the fourth Monday of the month, and that is when the Geauga Amateur Radio Association has their regular meeting, and their meeting is on Merritt Road in Munson Township, right at the base of the 146.94 tower. The repeater is right on top of that tower. Pretty sure it is. It looks like it's the same antenna. I remember 20 years ago when I got in the hobby, the 4-bay folded dipole was on that really probably, I wouldn't say it's more than 50 feet high tower. And it didn't cover very far, but it worked its way up the tower, and that antenna on the top of the tower looks exactly like the one that was on that tower, the short tower. So, but I could be wrong. I'll have to ask Eric sometime. I think he would know. All right. This is the final call. Any other additional comments or check-ins for Geauga County Public Service Emergency and Weather Net? Please call EB8MO. Okie dokie. I'd like to thank Norma for allowing us to use this repeater. Being one of the trustees, I guess I'm thanking myself. I'd like to also thank everyone who checked in and those who brought your input to the net. Your comments are oh so important in making this net what it is. Brian will catch you all next week probably. And with that, I'd like to say 73. This is AB8MO. Closing the net at 9:24 p.m. local time with 9 check-ins, including myself. Good night, all. Catch you later.
Off.
Port. Link.
Site www.cfarc.org and go to the Education tab and look for that exam session. If you want to take an exam, pre-register and also make sure you have your FRN. Then the next day, January 15th, and going for 6 Sundays, is the general license class. Again, go to the Education tab of CFARC.org and register for that class. It's free and it's all online. But it's recommended that you have a book that they describe there in the site to register. So you want to sign up for that before the 15th so that you can get your book. Okay, let's see here. Then on the 28th and 29th of January, is Winter Field Day. It starts 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday afternoon, the 28th, and it ends at 1:59 p.m. Sunday, the 29th. If you're interested in operating for Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor for Winter Field Day, in the trailer that would be set up with the transmitter, the transceiver, and it has a heater in it. If you're interested in operating, then contact Frank at W8EZT@CFARC.org. Let him know pretty soon so that if we have enough interest in it, that he can get the trailer set up and get a site. We may need a permit for the site where we were last time, and get permission to use the nearby restroom. So let them know real soon so that we can tell if there's going to be enough people to participate in that. Okay, and one other thing about this band, or about this band exploration net. There are 5 Mondays this month. So since it's winter time, the 5th Monday will be on a different band from the regular cycle. And it will be, since it's winter time, we're going to be on 160 meters at 1887 kilohertz. I'll be the net control station for that, and that will be at 9:30 p.m. on Monday the 30th. Will be on 1887 kilohertz. So get your radio antennas set for 160 meters for that day. We don't get a whole pile of check-ins on that, but it's fun to use a band that we're not usually using. Again, that's January 30th. That'll be 9:30 p.m. Monday, 9:30 p.m. will be on 1887 kilohertz lower sideband. So that's the story on the 5th Monday of the band exploration net. Okay, now our Hamfest has officially been set for April 15th. That's a Saturday, April 15th, and it is now listed on the ARRL Hamfest calendar. So we got that registered with them, and we've been announcing that in various on various nets and so forth. So plan for that. Put that on your calendar. That's Saturday, April 15th at the Medio Party Center. Okay, let's see. That's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. KD8YAX. KD8YAX. Okay, I have you, Forrest, and you are checking in for 1 for the number. So thanks a lot, Forrest. And Frank mentioned during the VHF UHF net that he will pick you up at 6:15 on Wednesday to go to the meeting. Over.
I will be waiting for him. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. You have a pretty good signal there. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. Whiskey 8 Echo Zulu Tango. Go ahead, Frank, with your comment.
I just kicked the power a little bit. Yeah, Forrest is pretty loud by me also, but that's because he lives right next to me, almost. Good job on the net tonight. I have nothing to add. You did everything great. Again, just restating what you said. Let me turn this noise down. If anybody is interested in operating the winter field day, the 28th and 29th, Saturday, Sunday, gotta let me know within about 2 weeks, because we gotta get, or within about a week, because we gotta get permits. We gotta make sure we have access to a restroom, and I gotta get tires on the trailer. All needs to be done before then, so it's we need a little bit of advance notice there. I want to do it, but I want enough people to make it worthwhile. So please get those emails into me. My call, W8EZT at CFARC.org. Not the address currently listed in the roster. I'm gonna have to change that. All right, that's it. All I got, John. See who else is out there. Back to you, W8EZT.
Oh, hey, Frank, about the winter field day on Sunday. let's see, it ends after the general license class starts that day. Over.
That is correct. I have made sure that I am not scheduled to teach that day, so whatever class sessions we have there, I've got the list over here somewhere. Let's see. That will be 29th. Jim and Anthony are doing everything on that one, so I have no classes to teach that weekend.
Okay, very good. Very good. Thanks. Okay, so I hope we get enough people for that. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for hopefully setting up the winter field day there. And thanks for checking in this evening. And thanks for your comments. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray. Name here is John at the mic. So please call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor to check in.
Whiskey Alpha 3 Juliet Alpha Tango.
WA3JAT. Go ahead, Jim, with your comment.
Okay, good evening to everyone who's listening tonight. I don't have anything to add from the 2-meter other than I have one request. I'm using a new microphone on this radio here. Actually, this is the first that I've used it. And just wondered if anyone would give me any audio reports about how it sounds. W8VPV, WA3JAT.
It sounds real good. I think it's better than what I heard other times. Of course, I'm getting you with, what was that signal, 60 dB over 9, but the audio is very good. Over.
Okay, well, it's supposed to be a high-fidelity microphone, so that's what I'm hoping to hear.
Okay, it is, yeah, very, very good. And I noticed with this headset that I'm listening on that if I'm tuning on the signal, that it will go like almost down to like 10 hertz out of these earphones here.
Okay, very good. Well, if anybody else checks in and wants to give me a report, I'll be listening.
Let's see, Frank, can you hear Jim there? W8EZT, over.
Yes, I can. WAEZT here. Sound real good, Jim. Maybe a bit heavy on the low end. It sounds a little bit boomy to me, but that could be the settings on my radio also. But very readable. No problem there at all.
Okay, very good, Frank. Thanks for the report. Yeah, actually, it has a microphone for cutting out the low end. It's in the high fidelity position right now, so I think that's why there's more bass than normal. But like if you're DXing or something, there is a switch on the mic to take out that low end.
Okay, I'll be listening if you want to try it when we get done with the net. I'll be in here for a few minutes. I'm working on the presentation for 2 weeks. All right, back to that here, W8EZT.
Okay, Frank, thanks. And thanks, Jim, there. You and Frank can experiment with that after the net there, too, if you want to do more settings. Try more settings. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in.
KA8WTK.
Go ahead, Bill, with your comment.
Now, good evening, John. W8VPV. This is KA8WTK. Frank, when you kick the power up, you're stronger than John. Tripping the S meter a little higher than John is. Sounds real good. And if I were to make a comparison between Frank and, JAT? Darn. I hate getting old. Anyway, Frank's signal sounds a lot brighter. Yours sounds a little more, it's a little more bassy, and I don't know if that's a hand mic or a studio mic. It sounds maybe a little close-talked. You might try backing off a little bit. I don't know if anybody else heard that, but it sounded that way to me.
Any comments? KA8WTK.
KA8WTK WA3JAT. Okay, I'm backing off about 6 inches from the microphone now. Does that sound any better?
That sounds just like you.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but thanks for the report. WA3JAT will be standing by.
It's better. It sounds a little less muffly.
Okay, very good. So thanks, Bill, for mentioning that, and I think that maybe after the net that Jim will be working with Frank there a little bit too, also, to try a different setting. So thanks for checking in, Bill, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Name here's John. I'm taking check-ins for the Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor band exploration net on 10 meters this evening. K8PU, Larry, go ahead with your comment.
Evening, John. That's a clever idea you had. So I rather put the heat lamp on the oak tree. And I wait about an hour and I come back in and look, temperature was still only 29 degrees. So that was, his idea didn't work. Jim, my 706 has about 2-inch speaker. You're very audible. Other than that, I can't really say much about your quality except you sound good, buddy. That's all I can say. Yeah, it doesn't give me much other than that. Okay, look forward to seeing all you characters Wednesday evening. It's been a while, so it'll be good to see you. So everybody take care and be there. We'll see you then. W8VPV, KPU, back to you, John.
Okay, Larry. Hey, I think there was a big misunderstanding here. I meant to set the sun lamp up inside in the house there, and then it would be sunny and 80 degrees, and it would still be on Oakwood Drive. Over.
Okay, that way my neighbors might not have been out there looking at me to see what I was trying to do. Okay, back to you, John. KPU.
Yeah, it'd be pretty tough to heat the backyard up to 80 degrees when it's 29 degrees. Okay, so thanks for checking in there, Larry, and thanks for your comment about Jim's signal. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for more check-ins. Okay, and N8ALQ, I have you, Walt, and also Buck was checking in. I'll get back with you, Buck, in a couple of minutes here. Go ahead, Walt, with your comment.
Well, I just wanted to jump in and say good evening to everybody, and hope everybody moves out on the right foot. So everybody enjoy, and hopefully we'll catch you next. This is N8ALQ back to net.
Okay, Walt, very good. Your signal's real good over here. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, go ahead, Buck, N8YR. S units. I'll tell Jim, WA3JAT, Buck down there in near Green.
was the loudest.
And it's working good there, Jim. That's the comment from Buck, N8YRX. Okay, back to you, Buck. Go ahead. Well, I switched antennas. I switched to the Mosley CL33M, which is pointed south. What I was using was the Gap Titan DX, which is a vertical, and it's not real good on 10 meters, but it seems to be good enough for the local net here, this 10-meter net. So thanks for checking in there, Buck. 73, have a good evening, and I'll hear you tomorrow there on 3902 kilohertz. So thanks for checking in. Okay, so I'm going to switch the antenna back to the vertical here. Okay, I'm back on the vertical. This is WO3X. The name here is John, and I'm the net control station for the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor Band Exploration Net, which is on 10 meters tonight here. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for more check-in. WB8DXO. I was just asking what's going on over there. Go ahead with your comment. Okay, very good. Yeah, I have a good copy on you over here, and well, WA3JAT is only about, let's see, line of sight. Let's see, he's around the corner. Let's see, so it's probably only about 700 feet from my antenna to his antenna. So that's what's going on over here. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for more check-in. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for more check-in. Okay, I don't hear any at this time. I'll repeat the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-in. Okay, January 11th, 7:30 p.m. That's this coming Wednesday at Pilgrim United Church of Christ on 130 Broad Boulevard. is our first business meeting of the year, and it will also be on Zoom. So again, that's 7:30 this Wednesday, January 11th. And then on January 25th, at the same location and also on Zoom, will be our activity meeting, and it will consist of a presentation by Frank, W8EZT, about our repeaters. And we may be doing some maintenance on it and maybe some improvements too. Okay, so on this coming Saturday is a volunteer exam session, and that will be at the Summit County Akron main library there. So if you want to take a test, then go to www.cfarc.org and go to the Education tab, look for that volunteer exam session, and register for it, and make sure that you have your FRN. Then the next day starts a general license class, which will go for 6 Sundays. Go to that same Education tab, look for that general license class, and register for that, and it's free and it's online. It's all online, nothing in person. But they recommend a book there, so if you want to start that class, register for it early so that you can get your book in time for it. And like I said, that's going to go for 6 Sundays. Then on Saturday, January 28th at 2 p.m. until Sunday, January 29th, 1:59 p.m. is the operating time for Winter Field Day. So if you want to participate in the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor Winter Field Day operation, even if it's only for an hour or so, send Frank a message, W8EZT at CFARC.org, letting him know soon that you want to participate in that. I will be operating usually like from around midnight and then operate for a few hours until the next person shows up. It's in a trailer that's heated and has a generator for powering the radio and the lights. And so it's a real fun experience doing that. So again, let Frank know real soon if you want to participate, so that we can get a quantity on the number of persons interested in operating that. Let's see. So, okay, on regarding this band exploration net, which is on 6 meters on the first Monday of a month. It's on 10 meters on the second Monday of a month. On the third Monday of a month, it's on 40 meters. And then on the fourth Monday of a month, it's on 80 meters. But this month, there are 5 Mondays. So when there's a 5th Monday, we operate this net on a different band from the other 4 Monday. So since it's winter time, we're going to have this net on January 30th on 160 meters. The frequency will be on or about 1887 kilohertz. So get your antennas ready for that. I will be the net control station for that also. So that's at 9:30 p.m. on January 30th, 160 meters, 1887 kilohertz, plus or minus QRM, and that's lower sideband. Okay, so that's all that I have in the way of announcements. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, and the name here is John, and my call is WO3X. Last call for check-in. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor Band Exploration Net. Last call for check-in. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. As mentioned earlier, this band exploration net meets every Monday at 9:30 p.m. Next week, the frequency will be on 40 meters. So let's see, that's on or about 7.187 megahertz. And sometimes, you have to tune around for us because we might be up at as high as like 7192 or down as low as 7182. So tune around for us if you don't hear us on 7187. And sometimes we announce on the 2-meter repeater what frequency we are going to be at for the 40 meters. And it's the same thing with the 80 meters on 3827 kilohertz. So tune in next week at this time, 9:30, for on 40 meters. Okay, so please feel free to check in regularly, even if only for a moment. All comments are welcomed and valuable to us. This has been John, and my call is WO3X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net and return the frequency to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 10:06 p.m. local time with 9 check-ins, counting myself. 73.
WTK, W8EZT calling. You still in there, Bill?
As a matter of fact, I am. W8EZT, KA8WTK. Hi, Frank.
Hi, Bill. Good to hear you. Hope you had a good New Year's and, of course, a Merry Christmas. I certainly did.
I hope you did, too. We had a good time. Finally had people in the house again. Last couple of years. Last year, Margaret was ill, and we couldn't have anything. We decorated the whole house, and Margaret got ill just before Christmas. And the year before, of course, was COVID, so it was kind of nice to have some family around.
Yeah, the last couple of years have been rough. Luckily, all my family didn't have to work or was already retired, so we had a big get-together at my sister's for Christmas, and it was just good catching up on everybody. We still have some stray members. My sister's daughter and son, they're now living in Florida. Son's married, and they had to talk to them via Zoom. But had a good Christmas, and every year that goes past, you even value more the people around you. Hey, one of these days, the next week or so, I'd like to pick your brains on the CFARC repeater. And I don't know if you heard, but I'm doing a presentation on where we are now and where we might want to go with it. And I was going to start off with a little bit of history on it. And I have this old picture of you, and I think it's Don Nelsh, who I talk with on a somewhat regular basis, and I'm going to pick his brains, and a third person in there somewhere. And just wanted to get a little bit of history, some time ranges, what equipment we were using, whatever you can remember of those days.
Wow, that's going back. I recall it was Motorola equipment, and can't remember the name of the repeater controller that we had. We don't use one of those anymore. It's something else. Mike Young, WB8CXO, would know. And yeah, that's where I learned the term TED clip, because everybody said that WD8CBH TED put the repeater together with test clips. So we developed a slang name for test clips as TED clips.
That's funny. I know I've used my share of those, and we used to use those little fine clip leads as 10-amp fuses.
Yeah, I was only ever up to the repeater site once. I did do a little programming of it for a while, and a certain individual who I won't name complained to me that when I was programming it, I lost 10 seconds on the clock. And he did this in front of the club. And that was the last time I touched that repeater.
Oh boy. Well, can't apologize for somebody I probably didn't know, but yeah, sometimes in a club like that you get people that are a little retentive, and they you do the best you can. It's well, I know some people are just hard to deal with. We're still running, and I'm going to go ahead and talk to Don in the next couple of days if I see him, but we're still running the old GE Master 2 stuff now, and considering the environmentals up there, it's about the only thing, in my opinion, that'll survive. But we've been offered another site down in Barberton, possible receive site, possible another complete repeater. We have more repeaters around, some standby gear that we can put into service and use as a repeater. And so we're going to present to the club some ideas and see what they want to do. But as I say, I wanted to get a little bit of history in there. Well, something comes to mind, either a model or a brand or some time frames. Do you know when that repeater was first put in? I guess that's the starting point.
No, that's before my time. Yeah, and it could have been GE equipment back then. Motorola is what sticks in my mind. I was only up there once. Don's the guy who you're going to get reliable information from, not really from me. And no, you don't need to apologize for that guy. That guy's dead and gone. So, like most problems, it solved itself. I know about that other repeater site you were talking about, because we've talked about that before. Is that for an extra receiver? Because you're right, that spot where it's at right now, when I was up there, about froze to death.
Well, boy, it's changed now. They about 6 years ago, just coming into COVID, they re-engineered the HVAC system up there. They closed off all the venting. They closed off the elevator room, which was above there, and totally redid it. This thing was an old carbon brush elevator motor, and you could hear these giant contactors and carbon piles to start up the motor and everything, and that was all ripped out and gutted, and it's gotten amazingly cleaner down there. We're not replacing the airflow filters and the repeaters as much as before, but the real problem is in the summer now, that area is heated by the sun all day, and you've got waste heat from the air processing, and it's extremely hot up there, like 95, 100 degrees in there. I've been in there with a thermal camera, and the net starts, it's 95 degrees, and by the time we get done, the cabinets are up at 120 degrees.
Boy, that's wild. You thought they'd have it, because they, at the time, I think we were the only thing up there, maybe one other service, but hasn't, I believe that's expanded to a lot of other services, and they discovered that rooftop is valuable real estate, and I thought they added more services up there. They probably need better air conditioning to keep those guys alive up there. Am I correct in that assumption?
Stand by, Bill.
Yep.
Sorry, Bill, I got a phone call in there. There's a visually disabled ham near me that I take to our meetings, and he was just calling to confirm I got his message, that he got my message, one of those deals. I'm sorry, please say that last thing again.
It seems to me that after that point in time that I was talking about before, that they added more. There were more services added to that room up there, and maybe they need to revamp the air conditioning and try to get the temperature down.
Well, it's their mechanical room, and it's just equipment up there, and we're the only radio equipment up there anymore. There is they actually put a separate structure up there that houses a cell series of transmitters and antennas around the perimeter of the roof. But there's, and that was added later, I think just lifted up and set on the building, whether by crane or helicopter, I don't know. And so they've taken out all the pagers, and we've got 3 cabinets, and we're reusing some of the hard line for that. But, okay, well, I'll ask around some of the older members, and like so many things in history, the little details just disappear in the fog, and you just say, well, thanks to the people that took care of it that time, but this is what we got now, and we're going forwards. So I guess that's the way that is.
Yep, you need to talk to Don, you need to talk to Mike, WB8CXO, because it seems to me he knew a lot about the controller at that time. And I'm trying to piece together why. This was a long time ago. And but between Don and Mike, you should be able to get a pretty good picture of what was going on. I'm trying to think of other people, that radio officers and whatnot back then, and I really can't come up with any names. We're talking 20 years ago or more, and there was a time, and the reason a lot of that's foggy is that I was involved and then I wasn't involved for various reasons. One I've told you about, and other things. I just got out of there for a while, and then came back a few years late, a few years ago, and got involved again. So there's a lot back in there I don't know anything about.
Okay. Yeah, as I've seen before, and in this and other clubs, people come and go, and other things arise in your life, priorities, hobbies, whatever, and you're busy doing that, and then all of a sudden things open up, and somebody says, oh, let's join the club again, and bingo, you're back in. So, well, anyway, good to hear you in there. I guess hunker down. So far the winter hasn't been too bad. We had a little bit of cold weather during Christmas, but this is more the winter that I know these days in northeastern Ohio. And next spring, when you get ready to do some antenna stuff, if you need a third hand, by all means, give me a call. I will try to break away when I can. I'm still sorting and trying to decide what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to get rid of around here, and it's intimidating. But, oh well, that's what it is. All right, Bill, good talking to you. I will catch you one of these days soon, and if you're bored on a Wednesday evening, Nothing else to do. Go to the website and look on the calendar and tune into the Zoom meeting and at least see who's there and see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I do have a question for you. You mentioned your sister. Did you mention that she just got her ham license break?
Yes, I did. My youngest sister, Bobby, is KE8WBG. We breed geldings, for lack of a better acronym.
That's pretty good. That's not the sister that was in the same class with me back when I got my novice, was it?
I believe it is. Her name's Bobby. Is this when Roger Milford was teaching the code class?
It sure is. That's a long time ago.
Absolutely. She was talking about getting her license last fall, and I said, well, we're starting a technician class in the fall, and she did. She got her license. She did very good. She got 33 out of 35. She is, well, I got to admit, don't tell her I ever said this, but she is a very, very sharp lady. We reload together. Half the time I'll come over there and find her underneath the trailer working on something or fixing the manure spreader or cooking up something for dinner. She's just a remarkable person. She and I have gone skiing many times in the past, scuba diving many times in the past, and of all my sisters, she's the one I'm closest to. But yeah, that's Bobby. She has her license. She already has an HT. This class was held under the auspices of the MORE program, whose job is to get more hams on the air, and one of the benefits was they would reimburse your test costs and give you a free HT. She's down in New Franklin right now, and there's on the far side of a rise, so we really can't hit the repeater. I'm going to have to get an antenna up there outside for in the next couple of weeks, but eventually you will hear her on there.
Well, that's cool. When you talk to her next, I don't know if she'll remember me or not, but we took that class with Roger Milford, and I can't think of the guy's name who taught us CW. I can see him. This I notice as I get older. I've got when my memory picks up on somebody, I get a picture of them in my brain, but I can't remember their name. And a lot of people are the other way around. I'll recognize somebody and don't have a clue who they are. You know, it's disgusting. But yeah, ask her if she still remembers me. She might not. Probably not. I'm not memorable. Anyway, it's been good talking to you. Yeah, and if I need a hand, I will definitely give you a call, Frank. Thanks.
Absolutely, and I am somewhat like you. I can remember somebody, I can remember them in context, what even we talked about 30 years ago, but ask me to put a name on it or something, and I'm going, duh. And as a psychologist told me once, as you get older, the data's still there, but the index system is failing, and that's why you struggle to remember things. Once you do, you're there, but coming up with a handle is tough. Well, very good, Bill. Again, good talking to you. Stay warm. Enjoy this weather. I think this week is supposed to be in the 30s and the 40s, which is certainly tolerable. And we'll certainly catch you down the page. And I will mention you to Bobby. I'm going to be over there tomorrow evening, and we'll see if she remembers you at all. Do you remember roughly when this class was? What year? What decade?
Now, hold on just 1 second. Okay, here we go. I'm looking at my novice license, and I got it in 85. In fact, the effective date was 5/31/1985.
All right, 1985. I will mention it to her. Let's see, what was she doing then? She graduated in 75. That was 10 years. She was in nursing. She might have been in anesthesia school, and she was a nurse anesthetist later on. And boy, that takes training out of you or time out of your day. But I'll mention it to you. See if you remember, or to her, and see if she remembers it, and I'll let you know next time I talk to you.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Frank. You have a wonderful evening. W8EZT, KA8WTK.
Very good, Bill. Hope you and Margaret have a great next couple of weeks, and we'll talk to you soon. W8EZT, I'll be clear.